Bună dimineața și bun găsit la BU. Sunt Sabina Iosub și vă invit să rămâneți alături de mine în următoarea jumătate de oră. O să discutăm despre o decizie importantă luată de Parlamentul European și are legătură cu ceea ce se întâmplă în regiunea noastră. Today, here in Strasbourg, in the European Parliament, with me at BU Talk Show is Brando Benifei. Thank you so much for your presence. I was just reading about the final vote that was done here in Strasbourg, 35 billion loan to Ukraine backed by Russian assets. Let's explain.
Well, this decision is very important. I worked on that as a parliamentarian for my political group. We pushed forward this new mechanism that is based on the revenues that are generated by frozen assets from Russia. So this is a very clear message. We do not want European citizens to pay for the destruction brought by Putin. We want the friends of Putin and those people that come from the circle of the president of Russia to pay the price and so to use those assets to generate the money needed to give a loan to Ukraine for its macro-financial stability, for its infrastructures. We know that now, with the winter coming, Russia is trying to destroy critical infrastructures of Ukraine and create more problems. And we need to defend that through our support. It needs to be continuous. And in this way, it's also clever and just, because we take directly from those that attacked Ukraine.
It's a very good idea, but explain to us the mechanisms. How will you be able to do this, to take from their pockets, let's say?
Because these frozen assets can be used to generate interest to fund the loan. And so in this way, through the financial mechanism, we can avoid using the European money. And I think we do something that is useful also for the internal debate in many of our European countries, with the inflation growing, with a situation of the economic purchasing power of families that is under threat in many areas of our continent, to say that we found a way to make Russia pay for what has done. I think it's very important, and we will continue using it, and we need to also keep it open as a discussion what we do, in fact, with the frozen assets themselves, that today we use for the generating interest, but maybe we should use them for further support. But this will be a further discussion.
Like selling them, for example?
Yeah, this is a debate, because you know there are different positions on this, but it's good that the European Union has decided that what is generated by those assets is used directly to support Ukraine.
You, the European Parliament, have put a lot of sanctions to Russia and those who are working with Russia. Many packages were created here at the European level. Were they efficient enough?
I think we need to be more efficient. I think we need to make a review of what has worked better and what should be changed. But we should not change the objective. When there is a country that invades another country and breaks the international order and tries to threaten us with nuclear menace, we should be firm and say that together we will defend ourselves from those threats. And that's why we need to continue supporting Ukraine to reach a just peace that can be respectful of the territorial integrity and the dignity of the Ukrainian people.
We are discussing for so much time, for too much time actually, about this war that is happening in Ukraine. As a Romanian citizen, we know very well what's happening near us and what's the impact of this war. How is it possible to put an end to this situation?
I think it will be very important that the European Union comes to more unity, and on the other hand, it will be important to see what happens with the US elections, because I think that the EU and US together can play a very important role to also discuss with other important countries of the world that should stop being absent on the topic or even support Putin. I'm referring to India, China. There are other countries that need to be engaged on a simple principle. There is no interest for anyone to continue this war of aggression, because if we let this happen, we will create a more insecure world for everyone. So we want to support the European future of Ukraine, but even for those that care less, they should think about global stability, which is an important good to protect.
If I'm not wrong, you are the chair of the delegation for the United States,
Yes.
the delegation of the European Parliament.
Yes.
The support that the US put in this war for Ukraine was very important. Also the European one. But do we still have the money to support Ukraine, to resist actually?
I think it's important that we see new ways of financing. This is what we are doing with this macro-financial loan mechanism that we have been discussing and approving in the Parliament. We need to find new ways because we need to keep the support of our people. And to do that, we need to be able to sustain financially these efforts. That's why also it's important to see what happens in the US, because the United States need also to keep their support on the defense needs, but also for the reconstruction of Ukraine.
The reconstruction will start after the end of the war. I've seen a very good support of G7 states for this type of mechanism that you've voted today in the European Parliament. Please tell me when we should see the start of implementing this mechanism.
Already in the next months, this will be starting, and it's very important, as I said earlier, that we support financially Ukraine to avoid risks for their infrastructures, because we need to keep the critical infrastructure of Ukraine in a sound situation, and I'm sure that Russia will target that to create more problems, especially with the winter coming, so that there can be problems with electricity, with heating, etc. And I think this is very important, and that's why we need to continue helping concretely, but also maintain a sound financial situation for Ukraine so that it can do its activity also for its citizens, because it's important to remember that there is not only the front of the war, but also a country that deserves to try to live in the most easy possible way, so that it's not clearly the same as before the war, and the effects are there all the time. But we need to give, especially the children, I can say, but in general the population of Ukraine, to live a better life, a normal life, as much as possible.
And unfortunately, we are seeing Putin moving on the chess table in the region these days. We've seen what happened in Moldova at the elections.
Yes, we have seen clear actions of election distortion by Russia with the tentative to bribe people and to influence the elections. We have many inquiries ongoing also from the media that are already showing proof of this, and we will need to investigate, so to clarify exactly what happened, but also we need to support President Sandu for her effort to keep Moldova close to EU.
We'll see what is going to happen in the region. Thank you so much, Brando Benifei, for being with us. Continuăm discuția chiar acum.